What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome back to the Dapper Snapper Gaming channel, and welcome back to How Do I Want to Do This? This is our series where we take a look at all playable options available to players in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and then we rank them on a scale of 1 to 10, and either build them or fix them, depending on how they rank. Now, this week we are continuing with our trek through the Cleric class, and we have arrived at the Knowledge Domain Cleric. So, if you want to be the know-it-all, and also be the healer at the same time, this might be your ticket. So make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. As you can see, most people who watch this channel are not subscribed, so please help us to grow as a channel, help us to reach our goal of 1,000 by the end of this year. I think we very much can do that, but I will need your help in order to do so. Also, make sure to click the bell so you're notified whenever new videos are uploaded, and share the video with your friends so that we can make all kinds of new friends here on the channel. So the Knowledge Domain Cleric is a very interesting take on the Cleric in that you are searching for knowledge. Now typically this would be something that would be considered to be a more of a wizard type of thing, as they are the bookworms of D&D more so. But the Knowledge Domain Cleric seeks to find all sorts of knowledge, and it's very open-ended as far as what type of knowledge that you are searching for, so you can really customize this to whatever you want. But if you wanted more of the scholarly type of feel while also playing a cleric, then this might just be up your alley. So let's see how it does mechanically in today's video. So like always, we start off with our expanded spell list, and this is an interesting one. So half of the spells that are on this list are already cleric spells, and the other half are not. Now the ones that are not, there are some standouts such as Identify and Suggestion. Arcane Eye can be useful, but for the most part, they're okay. They're not insanely amazing, but they're not necessarily bad. This definitely is a 6 out of 10 ranking for me. There's some good, there's some bad, there's some indifferent, but yeah, overall 6 I think is more than fair. At first level, we get Blessings of Knowledge, and this is the only feature that we get at level 1 as a Knowledge Cleric, and it gives us 2 more languages that we know, as well as expertise in 2 skills from this short list. Now, expertise is very nice, and these skills are not terrible. They are all basically knowledge-based skills, so they definitely are on theme. However, you know, mechanically speaking, it's not going to blow anything away per se. This is definitely where you want if you're going for a skill monkey, but as far as anything power wise, it's just okay. This is a 6 out of 10. It's not a bad feature by any means, and definitely will come up, but it's not busted or anything like that. At level 2, we get a new Channel Divinity option, and this is Knowledge of the Ages. Now what this does is it gives you proficiency in a tool or skill for 10 minutes. That's it. That's all it does. This isn't very good. Compared to many of the other options for Channel Divinities, this one is incredibly underwhelming. Being able to just be proficient in a tool, that is really bad, because tools are not great in D&D, as we have discussed a lot on this channel. And just gaining a skill proficiency of choice, just ask someone else in your party to perform that check. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem all that great to me to waste a Channel Divinity just to add your proficiency bonus to a stealth check, right? I don't think that's the way to go with this. This is a 2 out of 10 feature. It's not completely useless, but it's pretty close. At level 6, we actually get another Channel Divinity option. Now, this is not the only subclass that does this, but this is the first one we've covered on the channel that has an extra Channel Divinity, and this one is Read Thoughts. So what this does is whenever a creature is within 60 feet of you, you can actually choose to try to read their surface thoughts, as long as they fail a Wisdom saving throw. Now, this lasts for 1 minute as long as the creature is within 60 feet of you, and you can also cast Suggestion on that target without using a spell slot, and they automatically fail that save during that 1 minute. So this is good, I guess, but it's also not the best. Being able to basically just cast Detect Thoughts as a Channel Divinity, I think is rough, because we now have 3rd level spells, and Detect Thoughts was a 2nd level spell. So yes, you're saving a spell slot, but you're replicating a lower level of spell than what you already had access to. So that I don't really like. I think that's a little
a little strange. And being able to cast Suggestion without using a spell slot and them automatically failing the save is nice. It's definitely not useless, but I mean, you can basically get away with doing these things as long as you just cast Detect Thoughts. You can get away with, you know, getting through your social encounters a lot easier because you know what the target is thinking. So you may not even necessarily need to cast Suggestion, and then if you don't need to cast it, then you've wasted half of this feature. I just find this to be situational at best, and you could just use a second level spell slot to do the same thing, essentially. Yes, it's a little better, but not much. This is a 4 out of 10 for me. It's not a great feature overall, and you might as well just cast Detect Thoughts and then have a social interaction with one of your party faces. At level 8, we get Potent Spellcasting, which allows us to add our Wisdom modifier to our Cleric cantrips when we deal damage with those, which is good. That's an 8 out of 10 as always. And then finally at level 17, we get Visions of the Past. And this is basically a buffed up legend lore, essentially. But what it is you can take 1 minute to meditate and basically learn some things about either an object or an area. Now you can do this for a number of minutes equal to your Wisdom score, and you have to maintain concentration during this time, so you're kind of tied up at the moment, but you can either focus on an object or an area, which is good, being able to look at either of those, and you can learn quite a bit of information about it. So the thing is, there are a few problems with this that I have. Number one, your DM needs to be forthcoming with a lot of information with this. So that's one thing. You're a little DM dependent. Number two, though, and way more so, is that you could do something very similar to this back at level 9 with casting Legend Lore. Yes, Legend Lore is not as good as this feature. I understand that. But Legend Lore was at level 9. This is level 17. You should be able to know, like, anything and everything on the spot by level 17. I mean, if this is your specialty, this is one of the most disappointing capstones that I've seen, where it's trying to mimic a spell that you got, you know, half your character ago, which is terrible. This is a 2 out of 10 feature. It is probably one of the worst capstones for a cleric, maybe even in the game. It's not good. Just cast Legend Lore instead of using this feature, and you're just going to be way happier. So, where does the Knowledge Domain Cleric rank? As you can tell, my feelings on this are not great. I'm not really a huge fan of the Knowledge Domain Cleric. I think that it has a lot of problems, and I think that a lot of those need to be fixed. I like the idea of being able to gain this knowledge, but I feel like in trying to give it that kind of flavor, maybe they got scared of making it too powerful, or stepping on the toes of the wizard, or maybe even the lore bard. But in execution, this is a incredibly weak attempt to make a knowledge-based cleric. This is a 4 out of 10 for me. It is not a good subclass, at least mechanically speaking. Again, when I do my rankings, it has nothing to do with flavor. You can definitely have a blast playing this as far as the character itself, but as far as in combat, there is really nothing here for you, and then outside of combat there's some, because you get your skill proficiencies and some tool things and that kind of thing, so you're definitely more useful outside of combat. But I mean, come on, people play D&D to be able to have a mix at best, and so being able to not having an ability to be super effective in combat is just really disappointing, unfortunately. So that is it for today's ranking. I hope you guys enjoyed. And later this week, we will be attempting to fix the Knowledge Domain Cleric. We've got a ways to go, because this one definitely needs a lot of help, and we are going to do our best to get there. So make sure that you are subscribed and you have clicked the bell so you don't miss when that video goes live later this week. And of course, next week we'll be continuing on talking about more clerics. Until then, have a great week. Stay safe out there and stay healthy. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.